Is win rate important? Hi, this is Charlie giving you Friday/weekend video. And so I just wanted to do something on win rate because we've been having a lot of discussions with our traders, certainly in the trading room this week, about fear, greed, the usual mindset stuff, and how some traders, certainly new traders, fixate their attention on success rate, and quite rightly so. People naturally gravitate to wanting to be right more often than they're wrong, and that is where trading can be counterintuitive because some of the best fund managers in the world are only right like 30 odd percent at the time, and yet they still make a lot of money. Paul Tudor Jones is a good example of that. And but in with personal trading, with individuals trading, they tend to think about what or want to be right more often than they're wrong. Hence why higher win rate strategies. Now we know that if I bring up a pen, if you risk one but to make three, then you can make quite a lot of money risking one to make three if that happens on every trade, of course. And even if you've only got a 30% win rate, let's actually work it out. So if you've got a 30% win rate, so let's make it easy, 3 out of 10. Let's go for 3 out of 10. So if you've got 3 out of 10, so you're going to be making, and you are risking £1 on your on each trade, then therefore on your winners, you're getting 3 winners, which will give you £9, and your losers, your 7 losers, means you lose 7, which gives you a net 2. Okay, so it gives you a net 2 for every pound risk, so to speak. So nice, simple, back of the packet type stuff there. So win rate is not overall that important. It's not the be all and end all. And yet, traders still do get fixated on when they're having winners and losers. And yet, we all know that we're going to have losing trades. Now, what's interesting, I just did some more back of the packet stuff. And I looked at one of my strategies that, and actually over the last 28 trades, so over the last 28 trades, hopefully I've got this right, the maths right, I've had 22 winners. This is on our fun enough, the trades that I call on our DST app. So I've had 22 winners out of 28 trades. So it's a very high success rate. But you don't. So it sounds amazing. So it's about a 78% success rate. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, Charlie, I'll have some of that." Yeah, and yes, it's making money, but those obviously those sort of stats, but the some of those trades within the 22s, because of the way the trades are managed or where they hit their targets, aren't necessarily always 1 to 3 risk rewards, anything but. So but people still get attracted to, oh wow, big high success rate, high win rates. But often the way that I've found it works in the main is that the higher the win rate, the lower the risk to reward. That tends to be the case. I very rarely have seen something with an 80% success rate also have a 1 to 3 risk reward. It doesn't tend to work that way, because in order to have a high win rate, usually you've got to get to your target that bit sooner, and be done with it, sort of thing. But what was I going to say here? The interesting thing here is that this one with a higher win rate, funnily enough, I used to trade this same strategy slightly differently to how I trade it now. And what I found was with this strategy is that the win rate went up, but also the overall profitability went up as well. So the old way that I used to trade with it is still profitable, but the overall profitability with this one actually did work out, has worked out. It's more profitable. So it's not only sometimes you can increase your win rate, but your overall profitability actually goes down. So you chase the higher numbers of winners for every trade, every 100 trades you take or whatever, but actually you make overall less money. This was an interesting one for me, that it actually increased the profitability as well. But nevertheless, we're coming back to this whole point about win rate, and what I'm trying to get across here, if I take the pen back off, is that you don't have to have high win rates as traders. And I know that we all know this, but so often people do drift away from being having better risk rewards, or and tend to be pulled towards having high win rate strategies. You don't have to have them. You can have them, like as I've just demonstrated there, but not all of my trading strategies have high win rates. And so sometimes it's nicer to, or just as nice, to get a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio trade, or 1 to 3, or when you get those big super duper risk rewards, like that, I get a lot of satisfaction from high risk reward ratio trades. So it's a mixture for me personally, depending on which strategies I'm employing. But do have a look at it. Do consider your win rate and how important that win rate is. And one last thing, always worthwhile having a look at as an exercise. Have a look back through all the markets you trade. And I was just talking about this in the trading room with the guys yesterday. And actually, if you can, as an exercise, just go back over the last several months, 6 months, 3 months, however long you want, and filter your profits and losses by market. So if you trade euro dollar, FTSE 100, S&P, pound dollar, whatever the markets may be, and go back over all your trades, and some brokers will be able to filter this for you, but otherwise just go back and filter it and see what are your most successful and most profitable markets that you trade. Because sometimes some traders will get attracted to a certain market because maybe it has lots of volatility, but actually when they do this exercise they find that actually it doesn't make them any money. They enjoy trading certain markets but doesn't necessarily always make them money. So just as a nice little exercise, and food for thought there, have a think about that, and as an exercise, because sometimes you will find that actually it's not the markets that you gravitate towards that actually make you the most money. There you go, food for thought for the end of the week. Stay safe out there. Enjoy your weekends. See you next week.